Hello. I shall not be chill. Why? Mm, I want Pearl Kit leaks. That's in like a week, I think. Is this gonna be chill or are you gonna get rage baited? That's why I made the title like that. I don't like getting rage baited when I stream, cause it ruins my motivation to stream. Which, you know, I just saw two Aglayas and I skipped because I was too busy talking. Whoa, show me that you can solo. Good solo, whoa, huge. Hello, platypus. I'm not. Ah. But hello, Solus. Hello, Verly. Well, that's an early Sunday. Has Solus always been a mod? I did it yesterday. Because, I think Summer was making like 10 different ult accounts. Which, you know, I just didn't want to bother banning them all myself, so. I dislike currency wars because of the time consumption. Understandable. I do think there's a faster version I think you can do that makes you go through less planes. But yeah. The thing is though, I will say I find currency wars like more entertaining than Divergent Universe by quite a bit. So I can't complain on that aspect as much. It's much more enjoyable to do this for weeklies personally. Why am I doing no damage? Hello, Chilby Maru. Hello. Yorlo? Jorlo? I think Yorlo is probably how you pronounce it, hopefully. But yeah, you guys seen the recent community post? I did the Star Ward. It was just as boring as I expected. It was just Phanon countering for 15 minutes straight. How entertaining. That's a Phenon issue? Well, yeah, it's an E0 Phenon issue. There's people in my comments who genuinely think that that Phenon clears with E2. I didn't even bother responding. Like, I know I'm bad at this game, but there's no way people think I'd take 8 cycles on an E2 Phenon. Really? Is Robin best in slot for Himiko E2? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Zahimako E2. Firefly clears it in 10, so your Phenon is good. I mean, Firefly isn't a bounce damage dealer, so she suffers a lot in single target. But then again, she got Dahlia plus Nova, so W Phenon. Wholesome Phenon, clear. Is Robin good generally? Yes. The best generally in the entire game. We gonna get E2 Himiko on the Phenon account, sadly? Yeah, because I was slacking my ass off. I haven't been playing HSR at all recently. I was focused on playing Valorant. I hit Diamond. CN isn't unimpressed with E0 S0 Robin. I mean, I don't know what fucking CN wants at this point. Like, do they want like the most egregious power creep possible, or? Because if they're disappointed in Robin, they gotta be disappointed in literally any character that releases. I'm gonna be honest. When Valo stream, never. Mild upgrade over RMC? Yeah, just a mild upgrade over the best single target action advancer support in the entire game. How mid? Do you try hard in PvP games? Yes. That's why I had to drop playing with my friends. I was hard stuck gold for an entire Valorant act because I was getting held back by playing with friends who would constantly go double or triple negative. So I stopped playing with them and I instantly ranked up. She's good, but eh? Yeah, but it's like, what more do you want, though, you know? Like, you can't be like, she's good, but eh, as a genuine criticism, because if you are being genuine about that, you're just asking for Robin SB to be even stronger than she currently is, when she's already best in slot for like 90% of teams that aren't even made for her. And then she also has her good-ass vertical investment, you know? So at what point are they fucking satisfied is my thing. What was the last character CN said was OP? I don't even know. I remember CN was complaining about Himiko being too weak as well. Like, I'm talking before she got the nerfs in, like, V4 or whatever it was. Like, they were like, Himiko really isn't that great. She could really use, like, I don't know what the fuck they want. I don't know what they want. They sound like they're really, like, power creep hungry over there. Like, they don't have an issue with it. Why is it tracking this? Hell no. How much FOMO will I feel from not pulling Robin? I mean, I don't know. It just depends on who you are. Like, I'm skipping Robin for E1 Hyacine on this account, and I'm not feeling any FOMO in the slightest. To be honest. I feel like if you are confident that your teams will be able to clear content even without pulling Robin SP at all, and you can just keep pulling whoever you want, you really shouldn't feel FOMO for Robin, to be honest. Like, my Mono Rem and Elation teams have so much investment that I don't even need to care or look twice at Robin at all. So I don't care about skipping her. My criticism is that most teams she's great for are out of meta 2.x/3.x teams. Isn't she best in slot for every version 4 character right now, though? Including Elation, or... Unless you're saying, like, in the long run, that's her value. But, like, yeah, but, like, you can apply this to old generalists, though. Like, the same fate met Tribby, right? The same fate met, Sunday. Where, when they first released, they were, you know, used in every team because of how strong they were. But eventually, when teams get their niche supports, like, those niche teams are no longer going to use them, you know? Is kind of how it goes with just generalists. Generalists are expected to be replaced, but they still have value even if they get replaced. Is kind of how I see generalists. And then niche characters usually are better than generalists in their best teams, but significantly lose value if they get power crept. Well, yeah, you could make the argument that you can wait for, like, someone who's stronger than Robin SP down the line, but, like, it isn't happening in this version, you know? Like, you're gonna have to wait till version 5. Unless Nihilux ends up surprisingly being a generalist support or something, we're not gonna get an M-Blade situation where it goes from M-Blade is the strongest generalist to Robin in the next patch, right? It's Pearl, then it's Nihilux, then it's the collab characters from ZZZ, then it's 5.0. I doubt they'd have a generalist in 5.0. They've... I guess if... Nah, Sparkle was not as generalist originally, but... So, yeah. Like, Robin SP is good for at least half a year as probably the top generalist in the game. And then she also has the good E1 and E2 as well. ZZZ collab could have a surprise? I don't think so. I think it's highly likely Astra is a sustain, and I also think it's highly likely that Ellen is a DPS. Like, neither of them scream like generalist support who could be better than Robin to me at all. What about the Ampho expansion? Is that even still a thing at this point? Like, is there going to be a 4.9 or something to fit the Ampho expansion? I think the Ampho expansion might just be on the ZZZ thing. Like, they might introduce the ZZZ characters through something to do with Ampho. I could just be making assumptions here, though. An HSR original character alongside the collab? Well, I guess you're right. That is a possibility. You're not wrong. I didn't consider it because it hasn't happened before in a late patch, but... Okay, what is going on with currency wars? Like, I'm literally tracking... Oh, I untracked it. Nice. Yup. I mean, I think it's much more likely Astra is free. It just doesn't make sense. They'd be idiots to make Ellen the free one. She's way more popular. They've consistently made the less popular character the free one in these collabs, so... Read my comment. I mean, there's not going to be anything objectively that is better than pulling Rob and Solus, I'm going to be honest. Like, the Ashblade team with Robin, I'm pretty sure is, like, decent. Okay, I saw... I don't know how biased it is. I went out of my way to check out even, like, kind of mid-investment for... You know, assuming E6 is the max, and that's high investment. Mid-investment in Robin SP Ashblade teams. Where Robin SP is E2S1, and Avon is E2S1. So this favors Avon, because Avon gets a bigger jump in his teams with his E2S1 than Robin does. And Robin would beat Avon every time. I don't know if they were just misplaying with Avon or something, and it was close. But, like, this is a favorable situation for Avon, and Ashblade was stronger with E2S1 Robin SP every time. Every time. So I just pull, you know, whoever you want, of course, but Rob and SP is objectively the better answer, even for FUA teams, it seems, at like earlier investment levels. Lock. I need tribs. Oh wait, maybe I should mention though. Um, Robin is only stronger than Avon and competitive at the E2 investment if your sustain is Hyacine. If your sustain isn't Hyacine, then Avon is actually better. That's actually pretty important to mention. I think Avon would move over to Elation. Yeah, when Elation teams get finished, yeah, there's a decent chance his Elation team is stronger. We'll see though. What kind of DPS would you wish Ellen Joe to be? I mean, ideally, someone with a really strong E2 and probably bounce. And hopefully not niche. So in other words, kind of like a Himeko Phanon situation. I think it's likely that she's Ice Destruction. I do think I think it's likely. If his Elation team I mean, his Elation team will definitely get stronger. Basically, like, no matter what. Everyone this version is bounce? Not really. The only mainly balanced damage dealer in the entirety of this version so far is Gilgamesh. I think. Oh wait, no, Silverwolf. Gilgamesh and Silverwolf. But Evanescia has a lot of AoE in her kit. Tell me one DPS who doesn't have bounce. Emblade. Ashvale. Sparksy has a decent amount of AoE as well. Himeko is AoE. Emblade's skill is bounce? Yeah, but Emblade's skill does like no damage. His main damage output is his ult, which is AoE. You'll do like 100 to 200k follow-ups on Blade and then hit a 1 milli ult. Yeah, but Himeko is a mainly AoE DPS. The amount of bounce she has is way lower. Like, are you guys just considering any type of bounce as mainly bounce damage dealer? I don't really think that way. The only reason there's tidbits of bounce in a lot of characters' kits is to make sure that they actually have some ability to keep up with single target. Like, look at Thurda. Look at Thurda and single target versus Thurda and AoE. That's why they've implemented a bit of bounce in a lot of AoE characters. You are bald? Nope. I do feel like I'm balding though. I might get there soon. Proof. Nice. Bounce against a boss with summon sucks. Phanon main experience. I mean, Phanon slightly makes up for it. Actually, no. At E2, he slightly makes up for it. Because more enemies means you do the counter, which gives more stacks and does more damage than the basic. But he needs E2 for that to even be a thing. It's really bad without the extra turns. He still feels better to use in single target? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that his E2 and E1 combined alleviate the biggest issues he has with, like, multiple targets. Not that it makes it a favorable situation. What's with the title? I had to deal with some dumb shit yesterday. My day's bricked. No, my day's meta. You guys just don't know how to use them. All good though. You need to stop balding? Can you give me the juice on how? Or... Sending Big Chong Yun to help you with the heat. Thank you, Zay. Appreciate it. I will gladly take a Big Chong Yun. By the way, Zay, I swear you almost never talk in chat normally. You do these donations and then you just kind of like disappear. Just don't bald? Is it that simple? Talking about the slander at the end? No, no. He's one of the Oilers? Oh. I really want to pull Robin, and my justification is to replace Tribby on my My Day team. How hard am I coping? You're not really coping at all. Yeah. Pretty big upgrade for My Day, I'm pretty sure. Tribby provides absolutely nothing over Robin in a Cyrene team. Like, I genuinely mean absolutely nothing. There's nothing Tribby does better. So... I just skipped a free thing. Nope. Yep. Thank you. Beautiful. Why do you think 4.5 is a 5-week patch? Is it a 5-week patch? I mean, I wasn't even paying attention, to be honest. Yes? Oh. Interesting. Can I get a Gilgamesh? Oh. Nice. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Herda fell off hard? I mean, yeah. I mean, if she was a Chrysos heir, she probably would have gotten a lot more out of Cyrene, but it's unfortunate. Alright, peace out, Solus. I pulled E0 Tribby in 3.7. Was that a mistake? Yeah, kinda, but it's not that big of a deal. Can't always optimally pull. She released with Eggy, would she really have gotten that much of a buff? I mean, Eggy's current standing and clearing endgame is a lot better than Thurda's, because she's a Chrysos heir. And she got that massive buff from Cyrene, so... Is there any E0 Phanon clears for the new MOC? Yeah, I did it myself. Check my community post. Unless you're talking about a video. I didn't make it a video because you guys would have just seen basically 15 minutes of Phanon counters. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. My E0 Fae took 17 cycles for Evil Sam. Jesus. That must have been like sustain, right? So the guy just kept healing himself infinitely and you weren't doing enough damage, I'm guessing. Just saw the MOC post. Yep. I did not want to do it. Like I said it in my video. I was like, I do not want to do this because I know Phanon's going to take like 15 minutes and I'm just going to be bored as shit. And then I had someone come in my stream yesterday like, yo, can you do it? And I was like, oh, fuck. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow or something. And then I did. Alright, how many pulls we got? 126? 126. Not bad, not bad. E1 Hyacine is in the... Wait, I have like 40 something pity on this account, no? Or... I think it's like 47. Oh, it's 54. Even better. Easy E1 Hyacine. Sustainless, but I had to use the basic to stay alive. Really? Damn. Oh, maybe Sireneless? If it's Sireneless, that would make more sense. Or your relic investment is just really bad. To be honest, I don't know how. Like, it has to be a scuffed team or bad relic investment. Any info on whether or not one of the ZZZ characters will be freed? No. There's no info. Just assumptions. Dark Sam. I mean, yeah, the game's getting HP inflation. It's mid version. Teams are started. There's more teams that are from version 4 now. And then teams are going to be finalized in late version 4. So they're upping the HP inflation and the difficulty. It's usually how it goes. People tend to underestimate it though. Phanon is fun to play and has the best animations. Too bad he's chopped without E2. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if I just don't understand how to do pom-pom or if he's just stupidly tanky. If you're using... I mean, as far as I've understood it, and the way I cleared like a cycle faster today compared to the last time I did it, I started just timing Silverwolf's turns better for when the minions are dead, so that all her bounce damage could be focused on pom-pom. The problem with Silverwolf against pom-pom is that she's a bounce damage dealer, and then she wastes so much damage from her turns on the minions, which makes it take way longer. Well, yeah, there's also the damage reduction, but that's kind of obvious. I don't think he's asking about that, really. What's your investment for that Phanon clear? 4 cost. E0 S1 Faye, and then E0 S0 Cyrene, and... Actually, I can just show it. I'm on the account. I'm stupid. But yeah, E0 S1, E0 S0, and E0 S0. If it was an E2 Faye, you can probably expect like a 2 or 3 cycle. Yes, it makes that big of a difference. Because the bugs allow you to counter spam like it's pure fiction, leading to him getting a extra turn basically every meteor. Unless when Sam is broken. That's the only time there's downtime. So E2 makes an insane difference against Dark Sam specifically. Oh, well, that's not a bad raid. I think if I had your investment, I probably would have also gotten a 4 cycle. It might just be like no Lycone, no E1 Guang, no Eidolons on Silverwolf. You should be able to get a decent jump with Pearl, though. I guess I need better relics? Yeah, that's probably the issue. Like, this is my Phanon's relics. How many subs do I have? I have 27 subs on Phanon. It's nothing crazy. That's like above average. That's about it. 73% crit rate. Cyrene gives 18. RMC gives 10, which means he hits 100%. 200% crit damage. My Phanon has 33 subs. Joke's on you. My E6 Faye has 36. I haven't logged into that account in weeks, though. Two cycled with E0 S1 Silverwolf, Sparksy, Yao Guang, and Huo Huo against Palm. Yeah. I think Sparksy helps a lot more on Pom Pom because she can just kill the side mobs more. How many subs should you aim for? For an average player, probably like 25 to 30. That's really all you need on average for the most part. Depending on how long you've had a character slash team for, though, and if you're a vertical investor, your standards are usually higher because the logic is if you're not constantly pulling new teams slash characters, the only thing you really have to do with your energy is investing into a team you already have. So the expectation goes up to like 30 to 35 subs, at least on the important characters. Bro, it's not that serious. I just want you to be a regular human being in my chat. From being tactician, like, I'm not. I'm sorry. I might change my mind in the future, but no. Sorry. That's summer? No, yeah, I know it's summer. I've just been lenient. How many times have I been lenient? It's like 10 plus, 20 plus. So it's like I don't feel like falling for it again, you know? And then he also made 10 ult accounts yesterday, like 5 or 10. And then he was using half of them just to insult me. $30 subs for most players, yeah. I only have 33 subs. I see for my Phanon. Hope that we will have his Nova flare soon. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about soon. That might be a bit presumptuous, but like midway through V5, yeah. He seems young, I know. From the way he types, you can tell that he's like younger. But like, it's like I've already said, I've been lenient way too many times because of that, you know? So, I just can't anymore. I feel like at this point, they'd have to probably leave me alone for at least a few weeks for me to possibly change my mind. I'm just too, like, annoyed right now. I don't want my streams to, like, if I'm like getting bothered by chat constantly on a lot of my streams, it ruins my motivation to stream and I just don't stream, you know? So like I could completely stop streaming and then I wouldn't have to deal with that, but I do like streaming because it makes it easier for me to answer my viewers' questions quite often. If Anon gets a Nova Flare, what part of his kit do you want to change? Make the counter have a multiplier for AoE. Like his entire kit is bounce, including his counter. His counter's damage increases the more actions an enemy takes against him by adding more bounce stacks. There should be AoE behind his counter too, though, alongside the bounce, which is something that's common in a lot of these version 4 characters. They have a mix of bounce and AoE at the exact same time on some of their attacks. Like Gilga's the same, right? So add a AoE multiplier to the counter, and then I don't know. It's really just a multiplier changes, an E1 buff. I mean, he needs to consume less. I don't know. The thing with Phanon is he can very easily... okay, it can easily be too overtuned depending on how much you fix his AV per action. And then it can be too undertuned if they're too scared. So I feel like the real solution is you do like a Phanon Nova, and then you release a support who has base speed buffs, who he can use. So like similar to Firefly, similar to Acheron, where they get a teammate plus Nova, I'd expect kind of the same for Phanon in order to fix his issues. Because I think if you do everything I said plus fix AV issues, and you actually do it like how it's supposed to, but it's all like, you know, kind of all on Phanon's kit that got changed. He didn't even get a new teammate. I think it might be too strong. Like, honestly, I think it might be a little too strong, in all honesty. If you were to fix all of those with just one Nova for him. Yeah, you can make it easier to build Scourge stacks as well for non-Cyrene teams, but the problem is I don't know if they want that. Like, they probably do want you pulling Cyrene for Phanon. Increasing the cap? Yeah. Yeah. You remove the E6 limitation, make it a base kit thing, and then buff the E6 with something else. I could see it, because his E6 is just ass. His E6 was already mid to begin with, but it was actually like decently valuable. But ever since Cyrene teams, his E6 has been really low value, because he's infinitely in his ult, and he never gets kicked out unless it's Plight and he's getting hit for 3k each attack. So the E6 could definitely get some changes for sure. But like, that's an E6. I don't think anybody in this chat even gives a shit about E6. And I'm saying this as an E6 Phanon owner. So I just want to see some good base kit fixes and a new teammate. Would the new teammate mean Saridra gets kicked out? Yeah, but what are you going to do about it? I mean, that's kind of how it's gone with Acheron and Firefly and Kafka. You always have someone on the team who gets kicked out for a new teammate. So what was his E6 and V1? I don't even remember. Eight Scourge stacks and something else. Have you heard anything new about Nihilux? No, I would have made a video about it if I did. Zhao Q's dead? I mean, Zhao Q's getting a Nova in a few patches. So I think Zhao Q's going to be fine. Like, current Zhao Q though? Yeah. Zhao Q was very similar to a Cyrene situation. Where I thought it was like obvious this character is going to get power crept and their value is low. Although, to be honest, Irene probably has more value than even Zhao Q did. So, there's that. Zhao Q was pretty bad for sure. Do you think we'll get Novas with Pearl? No. And nah. I'm starting to believe in 4.7. Nihilux will be a dedicated support for Jing Yuan. Huge. Who's more dead, Zhao Q or Ratio? Ratio. I mean, you could technically wheelchair Ratio with the Ashblade comp. But it's like, you can wheelchair anyone with the Ashblade comp. Like, you could probably get Arlon to do like a 1 or 2 cycle with Ashblade with enough investment. So, in the aspect of clearing in technically their archetypes team, like Ratio is obviously better than Zhao Q currently. But like even Zhao Q has more value than Ratio generally, because at least it's 35% vuln, 50% on ult damage. I mean, yeah, in this version, the biggest buff seems to be defense shred. They're really pushing defense shred. Ratio's the first T5 limited 5-star in the game. I mean, he was free. Ratio versus Topaz. Topaz has more value than Ratio for sure. I don't have Ratio and I like him. It's probably better. You probably would have cursed yourself with investing into his team. What we chilling for? Just chilling. I'm curious to see Pearl's verticals. Yeah, same. I want to see like the potential of mono elation with good vertical investment. Just wait for that My Day Nova too. My Day Nova is going to be game changing. Topaz gets mogged by Mosin Hunt March 7th. People used to cope about it too. I don't know if you guys were there, but like when March 7th and Mo's first released, I was one of the first creators to bring up the fact that like Topaz would lose to them pretty consistently. And people did not, like, it was a genuine cope thing back then that, like, oh, my Topaz is, like, 3% better or something in some situations. Like, people did not want to believe you if you said that shit. Are we getting a 4-star in 2030? We're just not getting 4 stars. This game has come to the realization that free 5 stars is not only better for them, but better for the player and makes the player happier. The company makes more money since it's a limited 5-star and people can go in for vertical investment. And the player is more happy because the character they like is a 5-star and they can invest more into them if they really want to. Unlike 4 stars who usually need E6 to even have a chance at competing with limited 5 stars. No more 4 stars. I mean, yeah, I prefer the current way they do things. I prefer it. Because once you get all 4 stars E6'd, which is, inevitable in this game since they're not releasing any, the pullback is absolutely amazing. And then there's also something to justify it on the side with the free 5 stars. Like, if there wasn't the free 5 stars, sure, I'd probably complain more, but this game's consistent stream of free 5 stars, in my opinion, I don't even care about 4 stars. Like, even if we're talking currently, like, how many free characters did I use against this MOC, right? Characters I didn't spend anything for. Jades wise. I'm actually curious. So we have E1 Mei, which I got for free. Sparkle I got for free. Huohuo I got for free. And RMC I got for free. So, like, with free/good free-to-play characters, I'm using 5 of them. 5 out of 12 characters on my team. Or sorry, 4. So a third of the characters on my teams that I use to clear endgame on this account are free-to-play or free 5 stars that were given. So it's like, I don't even personally care that much about 4-star releases. That's just me, though. Eventually, I think they'll release a new 4-star. I don't think so. They probably would have released, like, Rekka by now, in my opinion, if they cared about 4 stars. They usually prefer the, they prefer to make characters 5 stars almost always, because it just makes them more money. You guys need to understand that. Unless they make a 4-star on the same level as a 5-star, which wouldn't make sense balancing wise. Like, people just wouldn't bother with the 4-star and they'd rather the character be a 5-star. Especially in HSR, the community has kind of normalized vertical investment a lot more than other games communities. So people have no issues going with like E1, E2 on a character they like. On a 4-star, they can't make money off of someone who wants to go E1, E2 on a 4-star. Because you can just get that for free by just pulling. You don't need to spend anything for that. Modern Gacha needs a new system for 4 stars to be worth it. Yeah. I haven't really given it much thought, so I don't think I can give my own opinion on it currently, on how to make it better. Spent 190 pulls to get a single copy of Chevreuse and Genshin. I mean, yeah, you get unlucky a lot of the times, and that does suck, but it's not really the average person. But yeah, I get what you're saying. 4 stars can sometimes completely fuck you over. HSR is probably the mainstream gacha where people get dupes the most. Yeah, and it makes sense. Because, like, to be fair, a lot of people will be like, oh, the HSR community is, like, brain rotted or whatever because of how much they pull vertical investment. But I do feel like, compared to the rest of the mainstream games, like Genshin, ZZZ, and WUA, when you look at the value that you get from copies on characters, HSR is far and ahead the rest of them, you know? So it's not always necessarily a thing of like, oh, you need to get this character E2 or something, but its value is undeniable, you know? Meanwhile, you look at other games, and like an E0 to E2 jump equivalent is like 50% or 60%, while Himeko is more than twice as strong at E2 and stuff like that, so... Do you think if Sunday Nova was announced for version 5, he'd become a temporary support for the Finality team? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have anything to base anything off of that for Sunday, to be honest. Because I could see Sunday being for absolutely any team if he got Nova. Not, it doesn't even necessarily need to be a main push, you know? Like, it could be a Sparkle situation where, you know, they Nova Sparkle for Sparksy, who isn't even a main push. She's popular, but not a main push, so it's impossible to really tell if she'd be for one of those teams or not. Isn't Phenon more than 200% for his E0 to E2 jump? No. Not 200%. Unless you're considering 100% as the base and then plus 100%. That would also still be slightly off, but it'd be underestimating it. Phenon's E2 in... Like, it changes depending on the enemy lineup, but it doesn't hit 200%, no. I think the cap for Phenon's E2 value in permanent 5 targets is like 160 or 170% from 0% as a baseline. So 2.6x. How are you doing? Solid. Hope you're doing well. Doing pretty good today, actually, to be honest. I woke up feeling pretty happy today. I don't know. I have a little more energy than usual. That's why I decided to stream, so you guys could take advantage of it. Because, you know, some of the streams recently I've been pretty, like, no energy. Pretty low energy. Didn't feel like answering much. Since when can you craft self-modeling resin? Oh, brother, there's no way you're serious. What do you mean, since when? This has been a thing since, like, mid-Ampho. I'm doing okay, good to hear. That's nice to hear. You can only craft 2 per patch? Yeah. But like, no, it's 2 per month, I believe. 2 per month. Because I believe at the beginning of a month it always resets for me and then it allows me to do it again. So you've missed out on 24 self-modeling resin. That's kind of sad. That's like 5 perfect relics almost. What was used for self-modeling resin? You can use self-modeling resin for crafting variable dice, and you can use it for crafting relics with specific substats you want. If you choose one specific substat, it costs 2, and if you want 2 substats locked, then it's 5. for a relic. I thought it was expensive. I mean, 5 self-modeling resin for 1 relic with 2 substats that you want, and they can still roll badly, is kind of expensive, in all honesty. But, yeah. Like, you can still get some use out of it, though. It requires relic remains? Yeah, but it's like 800 or something. It's so guys, if you dismantle 2 plus 15 relics that failed on you, that's 800, and that's a self-modeling resin. Like, it's very, very, very easy to get enough relic remains for it. That's usually never an issue. Yeah. My brain turned off back when it released. Wow. I didn't know this many people weren't even aware that you could craft this stuff. That's crazy. I didn't know level 15s gave more relic remains. Yeah, they do. At level 15, they give 400. At base, they give a little. What is it, like 10 or something? 20 per relic you dismantle? I don't remember what it is. But, yeah. You get a lot more if you level them up. This was a tactic. This is another tactic that you should be taking advantage of if you're someone who does a lot of vertical investment and you don't change teams much, is you're usually only focusing on like one character's relics and trying to min-max them. So all your plus 15 relics that fail from not being good enough, you just level them up with like leftover XP you have. Even like relics you wouldn't use, you just dismantle them. And you get a ton of relic remains back, allowing you to either craft by getting self-modeling resin, or you can just RNG the relics by just feeding relic remains from leveling up relics. Why not feed them into other relics for leveling? It just depends. If you have a ton of leftover XP on your account already from farming constantly, then that's not an issue, and you'd rather prioritize getting relic remains for more relics and more chances at an upgrade. If you are struggling with XP, then yeah, maybe. You can be like, yeah, it's better if I don't do this. But personally, what I've ran into on a lot of my accounts, because I'm a vertical investor, I'm farming the same domain over and over again, and it takes forever to get an upgrade. I'll have like thousands of leftover XP sometimes on my accounts. So I don't need to care about XP. It's like, let's just level up a bunch of relics, dismantle them, get relic remains, see if I can get an upgrade. I wonder if I have some now or not. Yeah, like, see here. I have 600 blue and then 136 purple. I can probably max like 10 to 15 relics with this much XP. So XP isn't really an issue. What free character would you want? Um, just Ellen. I think Ellen is pretty likely a free character, so I'd take it. No issues. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I just really want My Day to get a Nova. Like, it seems a bit unrelated, but I want My Day to get a Nova, and I want My Day to get, like, a single target healer who's free, like Wrecker or something. My Day is great in Currency Wars. I hope they can make him great outside of Currency Wars. My Day get Nova before Herda, and the problem with My Day is he just isn't that popular. And he didn't get that many sales. And Novaing him, I mean, he could technically sell a single target sustain more, but Herda has more Nova value for them in terms of being able to sell some other characters for her team than My Day does. So My Day and Anoxa are both kind of question marks when it comes to chances of getting a Nova. Argenti and Jiaoqiu aren't popular either. Yeah, but look at how long it took them to get a Nova because they weren't popular. Jiaoqiu released in 2.4 and he's now getting Nova'd in 4.7. And then you have Argenti. I don't even want to talk about how old he is. He's basically going to be 3 years old when he finally gets his Nova. Like, the less popular characters take more time to get it. Hi, hello. I'm not gonna lie, my main motivation for, like, playing HSR, at least recent, has just been me liking My Day. So, I care about My Day a lot right now. The Fate stuff are ass? Huh? You think Dill would be buffed by now if popularity was the deciding factor? I mean, Dill is leaked alongside Jing Yuan and Acheron to be getting buffs in this version. They're getting the special buffs, though. That supposedly, like, increase animation quality and stuff. It's still Jing Yuan and Acheron. So technically he is getting premium treatment because he's a more popular male by getting a higher tier buff than Nova Flares, seemingly. Maybe they'll get a special treatment Nova. I don't know about the characters that I talked about getting a special treatment Nova, to be honest. I tried your team with the same investment and it did a 1 cycle, so it's pretty good. What team? I don't think we can call a paid buff a Nova Flare. I mean, it isn't even confirmed what paid means, though. Like, there's a good chance paid doesn't necessarily mean real money. It's just that you have to exchange something in order to get whatever this buff is. So it could just be easily attainable, but we just don't know yet for sure. Pay with your soul? The only thing I'm slightly worried about is, okay, there's one possibility that I feel like no one's really considered. A leak, like a leaker saying there are paid buffs that change animation quality, right? Does that not sound like possibly skins that change animation? I don't want to give Hoyo any ideas, but that sounds like one of the possibilities. If it truly is paid with like real currency, is that there's skins that change the animations that the characters have, kind of like Wuwa, but then there's an added buff on top of it. Because I have played gachas before, and I've played MMORPGs even, where like paid skins can give extra stats and make a character a lot better. Hi, Gabby. Hello. Hope you're doing well. I'm not paying $20 skins for buffed characters. I mean, I'm just saying it's a possibility. I don't want it either. I'd prefer it just being a buff that you can get through in-game grind or whatever. I don't want to pay money. But like if it exists, it's technically a step up from the skins we currently have in the game, which that would be a W to a lot of people. But if there's actually like a really good buff locked behind it, I think a lot of people would be kind of angry. Bro's full of sunshine and happiness today. I had good sleep. Good sleep really helps. I don't mind paying a 10 pull. Well, yeah, Stellar Jades wouldn't be bad either, so long as it isn't too expensive. It just depends. I mean, I wouldn't complain if the skin was like My Day or something. Like if they went the Marvel Rivals route with skins and they made My Day like hot as shit, you know, I might do some propaganda and some videos at that point, not gonna lie. When is it coming? There was never a specific date, just that it's in this version. So I'm assuming 4.7. Because it's a big patch with Nihilux and stuff. It's probably the end of the Elation storyline too, so. Anyone else noticed Evernight is a better Thirda? Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time. She has the E1 to make up for, like, her E1 giving her like a 50% overall damage increase in single target. Her E1 is so much better fit. Like, if Herda had a similar E1, Herda would be in a much better spot these days. Even outside of the fact that, like, the base kit is obviously different. But Evernight's E1 saves her really hard against her bad content. Is Herta the worst pull from Ampho? Currently, yeah. Like, as a DPS, yeah. Actually, no, yeah, just in general. She's the worst. Oh yeah, that's the thing, Verly. Like, they are aware of characters' flaws. They have flaws in these characters' kits on purpose to usually, like, revisit and give them, like, a Nova Flare or give them a new teammate, is usually how it goes. Cypher and Saridra both have more value than Thurda. Because Cypher is at least a generalist, and Saridra is still, even if not necessarily best in slot, top tier for Anoxa and Phanon, and usable by Himiko. So, it's still better. Saridra is also really good with Rin main DPS as well, which is surprisingly decent, so... Do you remember a leak about Cyrene skin? Nope. Not really. Sleep does wonders? Oh, for sure. Ugh. I've always been a pretty big sleepy guy. Like, I need a lot of sleep to function at my best. Even like what is considered a normal amount of sleep for an adult, which is like 7 to 8 hours, I feel way too tired. I usually need 10 plus, and then I'm really energized for an entire day. Hyacine skin where? Don't know. Probably moved. Can you unban Tactician account? Can you stop telling me to unban you and just, like... Holy fuck. I hope you guys realize if you just talked normally in this chat for like a few weeks, I would have unbanned you just passively. Like, I don't want to unban you guys knowing that you guys haven't changed at all. Tactician, I haven't heard him in Amber eras. Yeah, because I've started finally banning people who are being way too, like, instigatey in the chat. Even in my comment sections as well, if I see it. Although I don't look at my comment sections that often. What do you think Finality's gimmick would be? I don't know. I think someone asked me this question a few days ago, and I had the same answer. I just don't know. It's impossible to actually guess what these new paths would do, because I remember telling, like, someone asked me the same question, but when it came to Elation, at the end of Ampho, I was like, I have zero clue. I genuinely don't know. Like, I could give a guess, but I don't think it's going to be accurate. And then I was right. Elation and the way it works in combat, I could never imagined it even once, I think. I never imagined it. Maybe like small parts, but that's it. Because when you think about finality, I mean, it's technically nothing. You know? Like, finality is finality. And because it's nothing, it can technically be anything. If anything, it's harder to predict what Finality's gimmick would be than Elation's. You know? I really feel like it's much harder to predict. People were expecting it to be some type of Fua, and it is. It isn't Fua, though. Like, I get that it's like, oh, the team gets an extra attack every certain AV, but that's not Fua, really. It's completely different from Fua. Because it's a different entity locked into an action bar, really. But yes, in terms of like getting extra attacks, it's similar to Fua in a way. But that's about it. Finality and lore is about probabilities of different fates, so it's tough to say how this translates to gameplay. Yeah, like it's kind of hard to just guess how that would work. I'm gonna be completely honest. I like doing less thinking and more getting hyped for the animation upgrades in a new version again. I'm kind of I feel like I'm someone, there's this insult that people sometimes use with people who watch anime a lot, and they watch like the more common animes, and they're like, oh, you just like the flashing lights and the good animation. A lot of what gets me hyped for HSR characters and betas is a character's animations. Usually the main pushes, because they get the best treatment. But, yeah, like animations affect a lot of like my motivation to play this game. Because if a character has insane animations, even if I didn't like them before, I'll be like, oh, hell yeah. Let me get some of that. Like, people call Phanon one of the most boring DPSs in the entirety of the game. And they aren't wrong, but I really don't get sick of using Phanon. Because I just love his animations. Like, he's so cool. I love the way he plays. Could you see Pearl being a Himiko sustain? I mean, I don't know. There are those leaks about her being able to like change paths, I guess for non-elation teams. So maybe. But like, I'm currently leaning more towards like Astra from the collab could be a sustain. And then Astra might be a good generalist sustain. But I could be wrong here. I get turned off by some animations like Sparksy and Avin. That's crazy. Because Sparksy and Avin have some of my favorite animations from this version. Avin, I will say, his overall animation quality isn't the highest. But the reason I appreciate Avin is simply because it's unique and different compared to a lot of other characters we have in the game. It's like a breath of fresh air, even if the quality isn't the highest. And then I do like Sparksy's kind of brain rot stuff quite a bit, to be honest. I mean, I'm a big Sparkle fan, so I'm obviously gonna like Sparkle fan service. That's just how it goes. I got sick of Evanesia because of currency wars and I don't even have her. Yeah, I don't like playing with Evanesia. I had Evanescea on 2 different accounts, and I've played her enough. I don't like playing Evanescea consistently that much. Same issue here. Yeah, I get that, Justin. I get that. The only thing that annoys me about this game a bit is the fact that they will purposely nerf non-main push characters' animations. Because, like, I might make a video on this and just rant about it and talk about it more. But I feel like a lot of people don't realize this. They are capable of doing main push animations on every character if they wanted to. Like, they can do it. They refuse to do it because the thing is, if you give everybody that top tier animations, it now becomes an expectation instead of something that breaks the norm. So people get used to it, and that's what they don't want. They want you to see the main pushes with the craziest animations and be like, oh my god, this is like a special character. So that induces more FOMO. But it annoys me, you know, it annoys me. I wish they would just give everybody good animations. Like they gave everyone their best effort. If everyone's a main push, no one's a main push? Yeah, exactly. That's the logic they use. They would make less money off of main pushes if other characters had the same level of animations. Because then it'd be like, what's the difference between a main push and a normal character at that point? Oh, he was a small indie company? True. True. This version alone has 3. I mean, every version has 3. All of them have 3. Version 2 was Acheron, Firefly, and Fei Xiao. Version 3 was Cassie, Feynod, and Cyrene, and version 4 is Silverwolf, Himiko, and Nihilux. 3 is usually the amount that they have every version. Which, obviously, this would imply, you know, my love for animations. I'm pretty interested in what Nihilux's animations are going to look like, for sure. I'm glad that Eevee has good verticals. I mean, everybody in version 4 kind of has good verticals. I was praising the Evanescea verticals at the beginning, but the problem is when everybody has good verticals, the game balances itself around that. So it's not like Evanescea is anything too special. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I am a bit scared that, for example, getting E2 on Evanescea in the current day would be the equivalent of getting E2 on, let's say, Firefly in the past day. But the difference is that Firefly's E2 back then was only a 50% jump. Evanescea's is 100%. But depending on enemy shilling, anti-shilling, and HP inflation that they do this version, that could be how it feels, despite it technically being a bigger jump. Ashvale has mid verticals. Oh yeah. I mean, if Ashvale had good verticals, Avon would be like done in the food. Like it would be no conversation. You'd run Ash Blade with Robin at like every level of investment over Avon if he had like a really good E2. So I imagine they butchered Ashvale's vertical investment after E1 and S1 because of that. They still wanted Avon to have his place in that team. Isn't Eva's E1 also fantastic? Yeah, but like a lot of characters E1 is pretty good these days. Like for example, Eva's E1 jump is pretty similar to Himiko's E1 jump as well. So Evanescia before had like, oh my god, a great E1 investment. It's got kind of the only DPS with a good E1 investment these days. But then Himiko right after got it as well. And then I'm pretty sure Avon also has a pretty decent E1 jump as well. So now it's Avon, Evanescia, and Himiko. And then if we're talking about team-wide damage increase and like performance increase, Silver Wolves isn't as good, but like it's kind of close. So isn't Ash's light cone mid for increasing his own personal damage? Yeah, but for increasing the entire team's damage, it's good. Like it's team-wide 20% vulnerability. Oh, you probably watched that one showcaser named Magnus or something, Kuma. I think his name is Magnus something. He runs all the male characters on mods in his videos, and they're basically half naked. I can't judge because I do something similar with my day, but Silverwolf E2 is way better. Oh yeah, for sure. That's like the main thing you want to target. Do you goon to that Magnus channel? No, I don't really watch them. I remember I was checking them out for Ashblade showcases during the beta, and that's when I saw it. I'm pulling Ashvale on his rerun. Is E1S1 the stopping point? Yeah. He doesn't really have anything good after that, so. What do you mean something similar? I mean, you know, in my dreams, I see my day with a different appearance when I play this game. You know? That's kind of what I mean. Yep. I regret asking. I wonder what kind of different. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with being different, you know? I do the same with Phanon and Emblade and Ashvale sometimes, though. I have E2 Evanescia. I can't wait to get her Lycone on a rerun. Yeah, I hope you get that. It's nice to have E2. Is it my day wearing a leather jacket? No. He's kind of wearing nothing. So. Is Ashvale E2 not good? No, it's garbage. What even is Ashvale's E2? Isn't it something like it increases his stacks so he maybe gets like one more attack off on his ult? I swear it's like, it's so trash. Like, it's really bad. Yeah, yeah. It's like one more attack consistently when he ults, usually. Sit on my day or eat my day? Sit. Because my day's the GOAT. He's a king, you know? You can't eat my day. His E2 makes him... What does that even mean? I thought that was going to be like a genuine question slash answer that I was reading out. But yeah. It's only in dreams, though. It's not real. It's only in dreams. I must clarify that. Imagine Finality Kafka? Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in what Kafka is going to be now that we've gotten those leaks. How she's going to look. All I'm going to say is, like, chat kind of needs to realize no matter how much you think I like my day, it's like 10 times more. Like, nobody can put into words or thought how much I like my day. So, like, people tend to underestimate it. Is pulling Summer Robin for Saber Gill and Faye a good idea? I got Emblade for Acheron, and I still have E1 Triby for other teams. I have my eyes on Ashvale for Faye, Shao, Pearl, and Nihilux. Pulling Summer Robin. I feel like Faye. Like Faye Non. Even though she's best in slots, the Stainless Force slot, I don't know if I'd specifically pull for that. But Saber Gilga, yes. I think Robin SP is really worth it for Saber Gilga. You are the Chewy of my day. Chewy likes Phanon a lot, right? I think it's Phanon. So yeah, I guess I am the equivalent for my day probably. Who do you like more, my day or Scara? Probably my day. Summer Robin's also best in slot for Himiko. I mean, Summer Robin's best in slot for basically everything in this game right now. But the thing is, at least in Saber Gilga, I don't see Robin getting kicked out at all until like probably mid V5 when another generalist comes out. So I think Summer Robin's a pretty safe pick. Cool, thanks Gabby, no problem, Boogie. My day or Ellen? Ellen. Ellen or Yohu? Ellen. Ellen's my favorite in all gacha. Across all of them. She's kind of even with Emblade for Sabergill until you get her to E2. Yeah, but the advantage I think Robin has is the fact that in other teams she's usually more valuable, but also with more vertical investment in the Saber Gilga team, she becomes better than Emblade. Her higher defense shred amping is more synergistic with E1 Gilga. If you get her E2, I mean, even more defense shred, even more res pen and stuff like that. But it becomes kind of dumb when you get the most optimal Saber Gilga investment, which is expensive, I know, but their banners do last forever. It's completely possible to obtain, which is E6 Saber. When it gets to E1 Gilga, which is a step up, and then E6 Saber, which is a massive step up because of the attack frequency, I believe Robin starts running away with it. Do we know when 4.6 beta starts? According to Seal, in a week from now. They said the 27th. It's the 20th right now, at least for me. So, about a week from now. Can they rerun My Day so I can get his S5 already? Now that's dedication. That's real dedication. Is it because Sabergill are so oversaturated on attack? Well, yeah, I know they have a lot of attack, but like still, I 20. Actually, I forgot it changed. 16% vulnerability and 40% defense shred plus the attack buffing plus the damage bonus. Still pretty competitive. But yes, like, if people are expecting to pull SP Robin and expect her to be like 50% better than Emblade at base for Sabergill, that isn't the case usually. The best relic on my account has the wrong main stat. Win percent for Anoxa. Is my account cooked? Just get Robin SP for Anoxa, and now that isn't that bad. If you oversaturate Anoxa with enough attack buffs through Robin SP, his damage bonus can probably become as valuable as attack at that point, which makes the orb not a bad thing anymore. But that would be kind of dumb. Pulling an entirely new character just to justify having a wind orb is kind of funny. Robin will be kicked out when Fate gets their dedicated supports. I mean, yeah, but that's a year from her release, you know? And then even if she gets kicked out, she's a generalist, so you can just put her on another team anyway. I'm getting Robin for Evernight either way. Yeah. Understandable. Saridra doesn't copy Herda's enhanced skill? No, she does. I'm pretty sure. Well, you would have to have E2 Herda and gain 2 stacks, I'd assume. If you have an E0 Herda and you only have 1 stack for her enhanced skill, I do think it goes enhanced skill and then normal skill. I don't know if it works like that though. I could be wrong. Yeah, you also lose the stacks from what you stacked up from the last attack as well. Is E0 S0 Robin SP an upgrade for Saber Gilga against E1 Tribby? Yeah. Do you think Robin is worth pulling for E2 Faye, E2 Cyrene, E1 Saridra team? Yeah, I do think so. Because you have E1 Saridra, adding... Okay, Faye gives himself 18%, I think, through his light cone. Saridra's E1 is 36%. So a total of... like, what, 54% defense shred on double skills? So Robin SP having 40% defense shred that stacks up brings him to 94%, which is really, really, really strong. Now I will say, if you have E2 Sparkle, because I think you might have mentioned to me before that you've had an E2 Sparkle, then, like, if you're using E2 Sparkle, it's not better than E2 Sparkle, I think. But if you don't have an E2 Sparkle, she's definitely the best in slot in there, I'm pretty sure. Because of the defense shred buffs. Do you have a good Sparkle? No. I'm pretty lazy when I build for my supports across all of my accounts, really. What is your favorite food? It's probably burgers. In terms of something that's kind of convenient to eat, that I eat pretty frequently, and I appreciate how easy it is to make, that would probably be pasta for me. But my favorite food is basically always burgers. Most American answer? I'm not American though. Getting Sparkle to 200 speed? Yeah. And then there's also those things of the optimal Sparkle setup being high speed with Eagle. Yeah, no, I'm good. You know, I think I'm good. I'll skip it. What are you? Canadian. Only problem with Robin with Phanon is if you use Cyrene, then her E1 probably doesn't get used. Yeah. Robin's E1 is useless for Faye. The old E2 for Robin used to be her the new E2 for Robin used to be her E1. So the E1 investment worked, but now E1 investment on Robin SP just doesn't work with Phanon Cyrene because the birds never hit. But E0 Robin works completely fine. But you aren't nice though? Yeah. I mean, I think I do think I get I'm pretty nice until someone annoys me, and then I think I get too mad when someone annoys me, probably. I know you're saying it as a joke. Don't worry, I got it. But I think that's kind of how I see it. Do you speak French? No. They did teach it in school, but I did the bare minimum, and I didn't bother. And anyways, I know Spanish as a second language. I lived in America for a little bit, and there it was heaven. Because I already knew Spanish, so the Spanish classes were a breeze. I didn't bother really learning French. Dealing with people on the internet for too long can have that affect a lot of people? Yeah. It's also a thing of like, my streams are me interacting with chat instead of chat reacting to me doing something gameplay wise. So the amount of people's messages and opinions I see is much higher than normal because of the way I stream and the way I kind of make my content. I have 130 pulls for Robin. Do I go for E1 and risk not having enough for Pearl and getting E2 for my Silver Wolf? Nah, I don't think I'd get Robin E1 if you'd risk that many things. Bruv must bop to Bad Bunny. I don't listen to music. I do think my family has played Bad Bunny a few times, though. Yeah. But I don't... I'm not a music person. Unless you count scrolling through TikTok and hearing music on videos sometimes. Maybe. I laughed when my aunt said Australian accents are sexy. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who have a thing for certain accents. I'm pretty sure my sister said something similar. When it came to either Australian accents or British accents. I can't remember which. Yeah, a lot of people have that type of thing. French is the language of love? Yeah, but I was just too lazy to learn it, I'm gonna be honest. Like, as a kid, I was learning English while learning Spanish. Not literally, but like, I would pick up Spanish from my family speaking, and that's the Spanish I know. And then trying to do French at the exact same time. So I was trying to do 3 at once. I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna bother with French. I didn't want to bother. Oh shit, I forgot I have to do my dailies on this account. I am not farming for Phanon, thank you. Are you a guy? No, I'm a capybara. A capybara who likes my day. Jeez, what a burp. Max out your Hyacine traces already? The only thing I haven't maxed is probably a basic attack or something. Which is like, why would I bother? Did you get the capybara in Fortnite? What capybara in Fortnite? Max the BA2 because it's Hyacine? Nah, I'm good. Maybe if it was my day, but are you a greater capybara or a lesser capybara? What in the world is in between those parentheses? I don't know. I'd like to think of myself as a greater capybara. What's your opinion on people using the immortal capybara in Genshin as a punching bag? Thank you for informing me. I'll have it dealt with soon. I maxed out Thurda's basic attack. The basic attack levelers. I love how easy Silverwolf is to use when farming. I can't wait to get her E2, it'll make it even easier. We all max basic attacks on our mains? Yeah, I think that might just be you. I leveled Silverwolf BA. Is my account bricked? Doesn't Silverwolf's enhanced skill damage count as BA? I think that's a good thing, no? Pretty sure leveling Silverwolf's BA actually matters. Could be wrong. I should max Sunday's BA? Okay, that's... yeah. Skill is the thing you don't want to level for Silverwolf? Yeah, I imagined. 8 punchline, huge. Wow, I'm just getting nothing. Sag. 1 second. Dailies done. Wait, what? Oh. Dailies done. Is that another pull or no? Too broke. Did my day call you? I wish. I would have ended stream. Alright, let's see. I think it's just Hyacinth's BA I haven't leveled, right? Yeah. Trash BA. Look at all these unleveled basic attacks. That's how it's done. Except for Silverwolf. Now that my stream... I'm going to nearly end my stream. So you guys get to see my top 5. Alright? The top 5 best men in this game. Number 1, Mayday. Number 2, Phenon. Number 3, Anoxa. Number 4, Emblade. And number 5, Avon. There we go. There we go. I just pre-farmed Robin and Pearl 2 with the double Calyx. Nice. I half expected it to just be Mayday, 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 Mayday. I mean, I have done that before, so I thought it would be like a bit overdone. Like, I know I usually only talk about Mayday, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, the dream skins don't only apply to Mayday. I've used them for Emblade, Asheville, Dan Heng PT, and like Phenon and stuff. Asheville needs some more love. I mean, he just isn't as relevant in the story for me to care about that much. It's kind of the thing. Sound like that one video ranking cats in Spanish? What? Rose missing crit rate on Yao? Am I supposed to care about Yao Guang's damage in an Elation team? It's garbage. Just keep her on 200 speed. She doesn't need to do anything else. 200 speed and call it. Yang Qing crying in a corner. Yang Qing is like just a factor of like he's one of the only Shotas in the game, and that's it. And even then he's not really a great one. It's just that for HSR that's the best they can basically do outside of Misha. Otherwise I'd be talking about Genshin instead. Like Genshin is usually where I have most of the Shotas. She deals decent damage in Pure Fiction. Everyone does decent damage in Pure Fiction. Because it's AoE. And they get the max scaling off their attacks. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yang Qing is manly though. I mean, a Shota can act manly, but I don't really see Yang Qing like that. In HSR, the appeal is much more the muscular men, in my opinion. Which is why we all have Mayday as top 1. We all have Mayday as top 1. This game has a balanced gender ratio. I mean, it is much better in comparison to other games, yeah. Like, Wuwa gets 2 males a year. I don't know about ZZZ, but I'm pretty sure I've heard ZZZ is similar. Uh, Genshin, I think, went on a drought with no dudes for a while, but recently they've released more consistently, so... My top one is Evernight. Understandable. Alright, chat. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna go appreciate some more My Day off stream. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night.